Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to another week of online art class. Not sure what week we are right now, honestly, but this week we're gonna do a project inspired by Japanese block printing and the artist Hokusai. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying his name right, so forgive me for that one. So we're gonna do a piece based off of some of his work. He's most well known for doing the picture with the wave that has Mount Fuji in the background, and for all of his other pictures of Mount Fuji. So we're gonna do one off of one of the easier Mount Fujis, which is this one. So what you're gonna need for this project is some foam, you're gonna need paint, some paper, maybe some paintbrushes, and you're gonna need an X-acto knife or a pair of scissors. So let's go and get started. So I found the best way to start with making your own little stamp is to start with a picture of what you want to do. I'm going with this picture just because it's one of the paintings that the wood block print is basing off of. So if you want to do anything else, go ahead. You can use a picture of your family or a coloring page, anything you want. Now the only thing is, if you do something like this, you're going to have to simplify it when you start cutting. So I'll show you how to do that right now. You just cut across. And make sure you put something under your picture when you're cutting it so you don't cut your table or your countertop. And you're gonna take each section that's a bold color and you're gonna cut them each separately. So I wanna separate my red from the blue and from the green. And then you got that, so you're just gonna pull it out and make sure you cut the sides too. I found it's nice to have the little border that the printer gives your paper. So don't cut that off, it just gives you a little extra room if you make a mistake. So you're gonna cut this out, and then you're gonna go ahead and do the same with the blue section. You can do this with scissors. I just think it's easier with an X-acto knife, but if you can't use an X-acto knife yet, don't be discouraged. You can still do it. So we're just gonna cut that all out. And then you have your grade section, and you don't have to do anything with that, so we're gonna put that aside. And you have your clouds. The clouds are the trickiest part because these are all really tiny shapes, right? So I can't actually do tiny shapes like that. So what I do is I just make squiggly lines in the cloud area that look kind of like the clouds that are already there, and just cut those out instead in kind of the same pattern. So like up here where there's more blue than white, you can cut bigger cloud pieces, and then down here where there's a lot more white and just a little bit of blue, you can cut tinier pieces out. So whatever you want to do. And then on the volcano, we're gonna just cut out the lava area. I guess it's not lava, I think it's Mount Fuji, so it's probably snow, but it makes me think of lava. So that's what I keep calling it. So you're just gonna cut out that section. And again, you don't have to be exactly perfect. It's a little tricky to get the tiny bits. And then, sometimes the cuts don't go all the way through, so just go over it again. You can just go ahead and cut out that section, and you'll end up with something that looks like this. Now, I've already actually done all the work on this, cutting it out so we can do it neatly, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when that's done. So we have our green section, and our cloudy blue section, and then actually on this one it broke a little, so we have a second piece of cloudy blue. And you're gonna stick it down there. And then our mountain. And then you can flip it over and you'll see you just do everything backwards. So you put that all in and you'll be ready to put the paint on. So if you're doing this with wood, you would just carve it out, but that's really complicated and we don't have wood to do that at the library, and I'm pretty sure you don't at home, so we're gonna go foam. Okay, so now once you get to this point, you're gonna want to take each piece separate, and you're gonna wanna get your piece of paper. I have a big piece of brown paper, but it's too big for what I need to do, so I'm actually gonna trim it up a little bit. And then clear out the area you're working with, because you don't wanna get paint all over everything. And only keep the things that you need. So I need my brown paper, and I need my stamps, and then I need paint. So to match the colors of the paint, I didn't do it perfectly, but I tried. So I have this red here, I'm gonna use that. Where it's a darker red, I'm gonna use this color, and then we have bright green for here, darker green to make little kind of tree shapes, and then blue for the sky. Now, if you want to, you can make a second stamp for the sky, that's all the white, but I kind of like how it looks when there's just the brown behind, so we're gonna do everything in white, it's just gonna end up with the color of the paper. So first, you want to do your greens. So I get the big brush, and we're gonna turn it over so it's the right direction. And you're just gonna brush on green paint like this. If you have a rolly brush, that would be better because then it wouldn't get the streaks of the paintbrush in it. I just couldn't find ours this morning. So once you have your whole stamp covered in paint, you can go back, grab your paper, put it gently on top. Now, once you put the paper down, you can't move it around anymore. It has to stay where it is. And then you just rub it so that you get where there's paint onto your paper. This might take a couple of tries to do well. I messed up the first time I did it. Okay, so then you just peel it off. And you take off any pieces that might have stuck around. And you have a completed picture. If you want more paint, you could do it where you put each piece on as soon as you put the paint on so it doesn't have a chance to dry. I kind of like how it looks with all the little streaks in it, but whatever you want to do. And then you're finished. So there is an easier way to do this if you can't use your X-acto knife yet. You can go back in with foam shapes. Get rid of all this so we don't get the nuts in my farmyard. So what you're gonna do with the foam shapes is kind of the same. You get your piece of foam, and then you get your little shapes. And you can just peel off the back and make a picture the same way. You can go back in with the paint colors like we did before. I'm just going to use the same colors because it's what I already have here. So just paint over each foam shape. And it's okay if you get on the other foam a little bit. It shouldn't make a difference. And you have a little stamp. Good job. So you can do this either the little more difficult way for the order kids or an easier way for the younger ones. And then if you want to learn more about this style of art or the artist, you can go ahead and print out the little art history lesson that we made for this lesson. Great job!